Microfinance, of course, is an area where we've done a lot of work, and the affordable private schools captured our imagination because we saw a lot of similarities between the school proprietors who had been doing this work and are ongoing doing this work without any support from outside sources. And yet, as we spoke with them, understood that what they needed was financing to help expand the operations that they've traditionally been financing through their own retained earnings. So we primarily play a role as an investor, and in this case, what we did was we formed the Indian School Finance Company in India to take advantage of the vast number of schools here and the lack of alternative sources of financing. That business, of course, provides loans directly to the schools. Outside of India, we are putting together a school finance facility, roughly $5 million loan fund that will provide wholesale capital to microfinance institutions so that they can on-lend to the affordable private schools in their respective markets. The idea here is to shine a light as much as we can on this sector and to show that microfinance institutions can adapt, develop, and manage these new products. Grey Ghost Ventures is not a huge fund compared to the amount of capital available out in the world, and so we typically try and play a catalytic role in being early into a new space that has both social purpose and financial sustainability. Part of the magic was that the micro-entrepreneurs already existed. This wasn't requiring a big international economic development effort to train and raise up micro-entrepreneurs or start new businesses. It was simply to come alongside talented and already experienced individuals and give them access to a little funding that could help move them along. This is the exact same situation with the school proprietors. They are very talented entrepreneurs that have been at this in many cases for 5, 10 years and simply lack the support of some financing and in some cases some supportive services. So when we saw those similarities, we kind of could see the story repeating itself, and that's what led us to get involved. We'll employ a whole range of people, teachers, administrators, support staff, etc. And that size is beyond the micro-entrepreneur size. It's really often 20, 30, 40, up to 60 and beyond employees. So that's compelling. The additional compelling factor is, of course, the value of education itself, and therefore being a small enterprise rather than a micro-enterprise, what we typically see as the needs of these schools are loans that are in the tens of thousands of dollars to invest in the expansion of infrastructure. Microfinance loans are typically in the hundreds of dollars. Cash flows being what they are, these larger loans also require a longer payback period, 2 to 3 years. So in terms of what microfinance is accustomed to, these loans are much bigger, paid over a longer term, and for many microfinance institutions, that's a very different product that they aren't accustomed to delivering. In some cases, I will say though, in many markets, as microfinance has matured, the MFIs have looked to expand their product line and are starting to deliver products that look a lot like these school loans. To come together like this at an early time in the sector's development and be able to talk about potentially agreeing on a common language or taxonomy, some common goals, ways that we agree that we should measure what success looks like or what the problems that need the most attention looks like and who's best positioned to address them. If we were to all go our disparate ways, we might find ourselves down the road having many different ways of looking at this and being much more difficult to bring it together. And so I think fostering this kind of dialogue early on is really beneficial, hopefully in the long term, to the sector. There are amazing people doing amazing things in all corners of the world. It's incredible how similar this looks in Kenya, in Ghana, in India, in Dominican Republic. And so while different in their minutiae because of context and culture, largely we see a lot of similarities there, and I walk away being very impressed with the people who are making headway so far in the sector. The other thing is the potential to have impact in this world has just scratched the surface, and it's exciting to be a part of something that is not yet even a wave, it's just a swell, and I'm pretty confident it will become a wave, and so I'm really impressed by the task that lies ahead.